Got Chris Workman, our case design specialist, with me today.
Yeah.
The Chris Workman, I should say. And we've got a fan favorite. You can cue the applause, Maddie. 10 IULs updated as of today, I
Today.
guess.
Yep.
And there's been a couple of new contenders on the list, right? What do we got on here now?
We've got a couple new additions. So we have Augustar, who just came out with a new product. They've got their Virtus IUL 3. And then keeping up with them, we have Symmetra with their Accumulator Ascent 3.
Accumulator Ascent 3,
Mm-hmm.
both on their third generation. Imagine
Their
that.
third generation.
Everybody's always trying to keep up with everybody else. But yeah, this is one of everybody's favorite episodes or webinars, so to speak. So, anyways, I guess we could just maybe advance right to it, Maddie. I don't know if we want to talk too much about it, but maybe you can share the screen and advance there. But at the top of the list still is
North American.
North American. Same as last time. 98, I'm sorry, 96,000 of income. They're number one as far as income goes. And again, they still have the 2% bonus on the income. So that's why they're the highest. We've got it up right here on the screen. Something that I think is disappointing is the expenses.
Yes.
Highest in expenses, highest in income. Not necessarily the lowest on cash value, but they're certainly not the highest. How does that work, Chris? I don't get it.
It's all the bonus.
It is all the bonus. It is all in the bonus, and they have a 2% bonus on the loan. So they're getting their loan spread up to, I guess, 2.5%.
Exactly.
And that additional loan spread, I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, you're basically in competition with everybody else who most of these people are getting a bonus to increase their loan spread. I mean, I don't think there's anybody on the list with the exception of Symmetra that has that doesn't have a bonus. All of these have a bonus.
Correct.
And then Symmetra, if you add the bonus, so they actually have a really cool index. And we'll go down this list. I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, but let's let's talk about this first. So right now, their new IUL compared to their old IUL, the income increased slightly, and they moved some of the COIs around on the new product, which I think was a good thing.
Definitely.
They had very high COIs after age 100, and now they've dropped those to zero. But if you compare this to the old one, the new one has slightly higher expenses in the first 20 years, but that gave them the ability to discount the COIs in the later
Exactly.
years. So, okay, so they have a cool cap, 1% bonus, or they have a cool index, 1% bonus,
Mhm.
zero floor, 9.5 cap
That's right.
on the S&P
And the NASDAQ.
and the Nasdaq. So if you choose that income, what does or if you choose that index, what does the income go to?
So using the 1% bonus, it goes from 71,000 to 88,381.
That is the power of an extra 1% of leverage in the loan.
Exactly.
And and you're getting basically the same rate of return because I think you run it at 633.
Yeah.
So it's run at 633 plus 1%. So you're not getting that extra 20 grand by getting an extra point, whatever, 25.
Yeah.
It's by getting that extra 1% spread.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just math, people.
It's just math.
Okay. So let's maybe go from bottom to top. I like that strategy.
Yep.
I think it's an interesting way of looking at this. So, number 10, I hate to say it, they look the worst on our list, but frankly, this is maybe my favorite IUL. I I don't,
I agree with that.
I hate to say that, but
As far as expenses go, as far as what index options they offer, having a pure NASDAQ index, that's rare.
I know.
And to have an 11.5 cap on that, or to have that option with the bonus like we talked about,
Exactly.
It's hard to beat that.
No, it's really hard to beat that. And not only that, but also that 1% bonus with a 9.5 cap on the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ is actually better than a 1% floor and a 10.5 cap
Correct.
by a long shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a really strong offering. It doesn't illustrate the best. That's not the whole story. One thing that makes me a little nervous with Symmetra is,
History.
yeah, they haven't really been in the IUL game for very long. Certainly not as long as a Securion, let's say, or even really a North American. So either one of those, I think, could be. I mean, it just kind of comes down to, like, do you think they're going to keep that up? And I don't know. That's hard to say.
It is tough to say. But the fact that they have the lowest expenses through 20 years, that's another plus that they have.
Exactly. So look at the next one above that. And I ask this of everybody: how do you think they are paying for the 12.5 cap? And look at the expenses on the one right beneath it. On Allianz is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So if you look at Allianz, their expenses are 80,000 and Symmetra's are 56,000. Furthermore, look at the year 20 cash values. It's higher on Symmetra, and Allianz is getting zero point 0.4 more in return.
Exactly.
I mean, that tells you the whole story. You're getting this, an extra 75 basis points on the cap, but that's costing you something in the COIs. What would you rather have?
Exactly. And that's why Allianz has the default allocations that they do.
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
They want to build in more bonuses.
Exactly. So this is actually Allianz run clean. If you run Allianz with the bonuses, I don't know where they'd fall on here, but I think it'd be closer to the top.
Yes. It's right around 90,000.
Yeah. So that makes that that's right along with some of these other bonus products,
Yeah.
which makes sense. I mean, if they want to be competitive, they have to have that.
Exactly.
Next up, Securion.
Securion.
They've been around for a while in the IUL space. Ironically, look at their year 20 cash values. It's 950,000. The highest is obviously Symmetra with 962,000. So it's right there in the game. And there you have the second lowest expenses.
Second lowest on this list.
Second lowest on this list. I mean, a strong contender in this. Now, I'm not like a 10.5 cap doesn't melt my butter, as they say. Doesn't I mean, compared to an 11.5 cap, but does it really matter? I mean, are these companies going to be able to hold an 11.5 cap long term?
Who knows?
Yeah, it may not matter.
Exactly.
Securion, as compared to Symmetra, they do have the bonus. It's
50 basis points.
Yeah, it's basically 50 basis points. I think it's like 48 or something weird like that,
Yeah.
but 50 basis points. What do you like about Securion?
I like one of their indexes. I like the new hindsight that they have.
I do too.
That's a new index that came out on this. This product itself actually came out in February or March of this year, and they have a hindsight index. It's a combination of the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Russell, and it takes a 60-40 split of the two best performing indexes.
I think that's pretty powerful, and that is going to have consistent performance. I wish it was like a 10.5 cap on that. It is a 9.5 cap,
Correct.
but you got to give up something, right?
Exactly.
I mean, the historical performance on that is probably, like, the average is probably going to be worse than like a 10.5 cap, I would think, on the S&P. But the probability of having a higher return, I would imagine, is higher than,
Correct.
like the S&P,
Yeah.
is what I would think. Now, um, they did increase the targets on this new product.
They did, which is
Which
why some of those expenses came up because
that's what I was about to ask. It was closer to 60 earlier, wasn't it?
they used to be around 59,000.
59,000. So yeah, the new, I mean, higher targets have to come from somewhere.
Exactly.
So where are they going to come from? Now, up next is Chris's favorite company, Columbus Live.
Best logo in the game.
Columbus Live. I wish we had it to pull off, but yeah, well,
I need my stress ball from them next time.
yeah, yes, we do. So Columbus Live, just so you know, I hate their logo. I kind of just like to pick on them, but
If you've never seen their logo, it's a nice nautical
yeah,
Christopher Columbus kind of theme that they've got going.
yeah, it's the Mayflower basically.
Exactly.
And I think it's because I don't know why they have that as their logo. It's kind of funny, but expenses. I mean, like they kind of tout themselves as low expenses, but I don't know why. I
No.
mean, it's not like it's that low. I mean, they're sort of like average.
Pretty mid-range.
Yeah, I mean, they are low expenses for a company that has accelerated benefit riders.
Correct.
They do have accelerated benefit riders, and if you compare Columbus to the other ABR offers, which you can see the QOL line of products from Corebridge, which we have, um, they're basically very similar to that, and they have a lower cap. Cash values not that far off. I mean, it's close to Lincoln, it's close to Corebridge, like it's sort of mid pack. I don't know that anything really stands out other than
Not particularly.
they do have a spread. They have some spread index, right?
They do have a spread.
I don't really know how to explain it because it was a little wacky. It's like two, and then there's a spread, and then you get above the spread.
Correct.
It's really
I would
weird.
have to go back and look at the details on that because it's not a normal just six spread or anything like that.
Yeah, I think I need to get out the abacus.
The Matrix.
Yeah. Get out the abacus to try to explain that or whatever.
Get your slide rule.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the slide rule or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, uh, if you ask Chris the best IUL, he'll tell you Columbus Live. So
It's up there. Best logo, at least.
they do have good income. I mean, it does beat out Securion. They do have somewhat of a bonus. I think it's 50 basis points.
It is 50.
Yeah. So I mean, they're just mid pack.
For a decent product with accelerated benefit riders, it's got low expenses. It's got a decent enough cap. It's a good option.
It's sort of I don't know, unremarkable. I mean, it's not like it's bad. It's not like it's the best.
Mm-hmm.
They do have a trip if you like to go on trips and you're an agent.
They're going to Ireland this year.
They are. So.
And you have their annual meeting in Boston.
That's right. So Columbus Life, interesting. Their second to die they have a second to die that's exactly like this. That's kind of interesting.
Correct. That definitely has the best accumulation out of any second to die.
It's the best second to die accumulator. I agree.
Yeah.
I will concede that point to Chris's favorite company.
And they have their Index Explore Now product.
They do, which is somewhat interesting. So it's not a guaranteed.
It's not a true guaranteed issue.
We're not going to require a medical exam, and that's what it is. So it's one of those things. Next up, Lincoln. They came out with the Wealth Builder.
They have the Wealth Builder and the Wealth Builder early cash value now.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I've not looked that closely at this product, mainly because Lincoln, I hate to dog on a company, but
they cut caps this year and it hurt.
Yeah. I mean, they've got that 1 in 6 product, the 1 floor 6 cap product. And I don't know.
6 is actually kind of high for some of their products. Yeah. And 4 1/4 and things like that. So
I know that makes me real nervous about promoting it. They have a good name. They had a really, really good name back 10 years ago, and they've sort of tainted it a little bit. And I didn't want to skip over them. I wanted to make sure we included them because they're basically mid-pack on the top 10.
They've got a good cap. They have some of the best accumulation as far as cash value there.
It's almost an identical product to the Corebridge product.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it from the cash accumulation, the cap, the initial death benefit,
Only difference is they have a smaller bonus, and that's the 6,000 difference that you see there.
Yeah, that's probably the difference there. And I'm sure it's somewhere. I haven't looked at it too in depth, but it's probably somewhere between 50 basis points and 75.
Yeah.
All right, Corebridge. What? Why two products, Chris?
Accelerated benefit riders.
So the QOL line of products, we have both of these. Corebridge has made it very confusing, I think. Hopefully they fix this, but we have both of these products. The QOL line of product, which has the ABR riders, critical, chronic illness, and terminal illness.
Terminal.
I think they have some of the best living benefit riders out there.
Absolutely. As far as payout percentages, it's by far the best.
I think it's, yeah, easily the best.
Mm-hmm.
However, look at how much that costs.
Exactly.
91,000, 92,000 versus 78,000.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
Exactly.
And then you can see like the income isn't that impacted, but I mean, there is a $30,000 difference in cash value after 20 years.
That's right.
It's pretty large. So how are these companies? Now, this is where the big bonuses come in. Corebridge, 1%. F&G,
1.5.
1.5. Augustar, too confusing to figure out. We got to figure out where their bonus is. It was like
they've got a guaranteed bonus of 25 basis points, and I'm lost beyond that.
Yeah, I got to read the whole thing now. And this is a pretty new product, but I guarantee you when we get down to it, it's going to be between 1.5% and 2%.
They've got to pay for the extra 5 bonus points they offer after year 11.
Yeah, which is really weird. Yeah, explain that on the illustration.
So with this illustrative rate, it's 7% for the first 10 years, but then their max illustrative rate increases to 7.05 years 11 through whenever they're done paying premiums, which I've never seen.
They had it on the old product, though.
They did. Their old product, it went from 6.55 to 6.85, so there's definitely less of a jump than before, but I don't know how they can get away with that.
I don't either. Now their expenses. Well, this is a little bit confusing here. Look at their expenses. You got it at 70,000. So not bad expenses. You're running it at 7%. It's got almost, well, not quite. I mean, it's a little ways off the highest cash value.
The death benefit's what threw me off.
That death
You're looking at 100,000 more.
Yeah.
And this is at min non-mech.
Yeah, that doesn't make a ton of. Now, this is a brand new product. I think it came out end of June.
June 27th, I believe. That might have been the Symmetra product, one or the other.
It was in June, definitely mid to late June. And Symmetra around the same time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We got to dig into that a little bit more. Like I said, I guarantee you it's a big bonus because there's no way you can get above 90,000 on our spec sheet here, which by the way, I guess we should have started with that. We're assuming preferred male
45, paying for 20 years. All of these are using the S&P, and they're all run at mid non-mech.
And we're using
variable loans.
And we're using 25,000 a premium.
Correct.
So if I go back and look at their old product, which we didn't include this last time. So their old product had a 10, and I'm talking about Augustar still. Augustar, the Virtus 2.
10.5 cap.
10.5 cap. About the same expenses. It became a little bit more expensive.
Cash value is higher with the new product.
New product.
It's also a higher illustrative rate, so that kind of makes up for that. But then annual income jumped about 20,000 between their old product and their new product.
Yeah, you don't get that by just moving around COIs.
No.
You get that by a big bonus, and that's the only way they got to that. And that is what it is. I mean, if that's what they want to do, it's what they want to do.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously again, North American tops the list. 96,000 of income, highest expenses, almost the lowest cash value. I skipped over F&G.
Besides F&G.
And besides F&G, which F&G still doesn't make a ton of sense to me, except they have some pretty big bonuses in there to get up to that amount of income.
The lowest cap, the highest expenses, the lowest cash value,
Almost the highest income.
and yet almost the highest income.
It doesn't make sense, does it?
Not at all.
That is not math. That's magic.
With a 6.11 crediting rate also.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. So, if you're buying today, what are you buying?
You say Columbus Life is my favorite, but I think I'm going to throw you off and I'm going Symmetra.
Symmetra.
I
Dang.
believe so.
If I'm buying today, I don't know what I'm buying. I've gone back and forth on this a lot. I mean, the Corebridge isn't a bad option, but it is a little expensive.
I loved Securion whenever I first saw it.
Securion is a great option,
That was
I
one of my
think.
favorites.
Symmetra, I think, is a good option. The only one that I would definitely skip is probably F&G, and probably I don't think I'd buy Lincoln.
I don't think I would either.
I hate to say that, but they do it now. They do have a good protection product.
They've got a great protection product. They have a great ABLTC product. They have good term options.
Term, yeah, they've got decent conversion on their term and it's
They
priced
have
well.
exactly.
It's just the Accum IUL. I'm like, nah.
Do I really want to worry about those caps?
Yeah. Now we're having a lot of opportunity, and if anybody out there has a Lincoln product with a 6% cap, we'd be happy to help you roll it over.
That's right.
I don't know. Any other final thoughts?
Not particularly. I think all of this, each one of these, besides the ones we said we wouldn't really look at ourselves, are perfectly fine products to write. It really just comes down to what the client or what the agent likes.
I agree with that. And it does come back to what do you value more? What's your biggest concern? Like, if it's ABRs or you want ABRs, you might consider North American or you might consider the QOL line of products. If you look at how the QOL line is priced compared to North American, they are very close.
Yes.
And if you ignore the income factor, the costs are about the same. Death benefit is about the same. The cash value is almost identical. So it comes down to, okay, which do you prefer, or which do you count on more, or what is better, more attractive?
Exactly. Because Corebridge, they also have bonus indexes that you can throw on here to match that 2%, and they illustrate income just about the same.
Exactly. So yes, that's a really good point. If you throw on the 75 basis points bonus income, I bet, I'm sorry, bonus index, the income's going to be almost the same.
It's around 95,000 if I remember.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So that explains that.
Yep.
And that's actually a really good point. And you illustrated it perfectly with the Symmetra. Guys, these bonuses add,
They make a difference.
like, that's more than 20% more.
Yeah.
Symmetra was 71,000 without the 1% bonus. You throw in a 1% bonus, it goes up to 88,000.
88,000.
That's
Rockets is up to number 4 on this list.
and it's 17,000 more. That's more than 20% more.
So we have a question that says, are there any IULs that have no lapse guarantees?
They do have secondary guarantees, and there are protection style products. If you're looking for accumulation, you don't really want a no lapse guarantee. That's going to drive the expenses higher.
Way up.
Those no lapse guarantees, and this is why you don't see very many GULs anymore, is the no lapse guarantee is expensive. And what I mean by expensive is the insurance companies have to reserve a lot of cash. So they can't make other investments to get better returns. Whereas these types of products with not very many guarantees in them, they don't have to reserve as much as they would as if they had a long-term no lapse guarantee. Now, who has the best protection IUL with a no lapse guarantee? Securion, right?
Securion.
I mean,
It works like a GUL. You can dial it into whatever age you want.
it's priced better than a GUL.
It is by far.
Corebridge has a good no lapse guarantee on their protection IUL as well.
Corebridge, Symmetra, if you're looking at older ages.
Yeah, there's
John Hancock, they don't accumulate well on protection IULs.
Yeah.
But if you are truly worried about just the death benefit and guarantees, John Hancock has a really strong product there.
Agreed. So you can get no lapse guarantees on these types of not these types, because these are accumulation IULs. These are built to grow cash value. But on the on the protection IUL chassis side, there's a lot of good options. And again, I think it just depends on their age and the payment pattern, what would look the best. But yeah, I think that answers that question. Great.
Perfect. Any other questions?
So what we're going to do is, if anybody wants to download this, we're going to put this in the link description, and we will allow you guys to download it if you would like to take a look at double check Chris's work up here.
I don't blame you. I saved all these illustrations if you want them.
So this is a comment that says, I understand that many IULs are not doing well for older people since they are not performing as illustrated, and the insurance companies can raise cost of insurance without any restrictions.
Well, that's I'm not going to mean to be argumentative, but that's just not correct. So first off, I think what you have to understand is an insurance company has to get state approval to raise their COIs. So they have to actually apply to the state and get approval to raise them. And they have to do it on they can't just specifically target specific people. So that's actually false. And then I've actually looked at the history, and in spite of the caps going down, almost all, except for the ones that were run at maybe 9%, almost all of them are overperforming the illustrations, because the S&P 500 and almost all caps, except for volatility indexes, but those are a new invention.
Correct.
They've been hitting the caps almost every year.
Yeah.
I mean, the S&P 500 has been killing it. So when you look back at the history, that's actually false. The only time I've seen underperformance in these products is when they are not funding it properly. So outside of I'm going to say it, crap tier companies, there's not many that are cutting the, I don't know of any that have increased the costs, but there's not many that are just screwing clients on the deal. Most of the time it ends up being they funded it not properly.
So this is another comment that says, I'm seeing ads on Facebook telling people who have bought IULs for income to contact them because the illustrated income is not happening. What do you know about these legal challenges to IULs?
I haven't seen any of those, and I haven't heard any legal
I haven't heard anything on that
or anything like that. My suspicion is most of those are probably either annuity producers, or if it was just me, just people looking for rollover opportunities. So I haven't heard of any lawsuits over income or anything like that.
No.
So I think that's.
So this question says, are you concerned that more and more insurance companies are being taken over by private equity? What do you think will be the effects of this?
It's a pretty good question.
That is.
I guess I would ask who would be my question there. But I mean, that's always a risk with anything. So yeah, you could buy an annuity, you could buy any sort of product, and it could be taken over by private equity. I think probably maybe they're referring to American National. American National was bought out by Brookfield Asset Management. That is not private equity. So they're an investment management company that bought an insurance company as part of their portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a different thing. And I'm disappointed that American National got out of the life insurance business. We did a lot of life insurance with American National, but Look at the annuity products that they're coming out with
They're
now.
killing it.
Look at their MIGA rates. I mean, to say that an investment company buying them out was a negative, I don't think you can say that.
Not at all.
They're providing some pretty high MIGA rates currently.
So this next question says, F&G is one of the companies taken over by private equity, and look at what you said about their policy regarding their high expenses.
That's right.
That is.
We don't really I don't really promote F&G very much.
We put F&G on the list because people ask about it.
Exactly. A lot of people ask
Don't
about it. F&G is not my favorite company. So, I even said it. They're one of the companies I would not sell, and that's the reason why. Their underwriting is outsourced. Like they don't even have their own underwriters.
Yeah.
So, I guess enough said at that point. But yeah, I just wouldn't sell them.
I agree.
I don't know what else to say. I think it could be a big negative. PE specifically is only there to pump up the value and then sell it again.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of a different thing. But
that's why you go with North American, who's an ESOP.
North American, who's an ESOP. You've got Securion, who's a mutual company.
Mm-hmm. Columbus Life is, how did they explain it? A mutually owned company or something?
Yeah, whatever that means. They're somewhat mutual, I guess. So that's good. Now, stock companies on this do go, I guess Augustar would be considered a stock company because they demutualized. Corebridge, Lincoln, Symmetra, I guess. They're owned by the Japanese.
Sumitomo?
Yeah.
Correct.
And did I miss one? Allianz. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of F&G, so.
Yeah. That's kind of been the case for a while, though.
Yeah.
All right, I haven't seen more questions in the chat.
Hopefully that answered their question, but yeah, I don't think it's a good thing. Well, Chris, thanks for all this work. This is my favorite one to do. Everybody loves to chat about the top 10 IULs. Everybody loves the topic. Advisors Resource Company, just to end this off, you could call us a BGA, IMO, FMO, whatever acronym you want to use with us. But we are helping advisors grow their life insurance business, and we do it through exceptional service and our expertise. So let us know if you need anything, and we're happy to help. Thanks.
Thank you.